So can you tell us a little bit more about the INEC special fund that you're planning to source about 5.2 billion naira from?
Well, if you look at the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, Section 3 specifically provides for the establishment of the INEC fund. And it is for a reason. The Commission cannot be independent unless it is financially independent. Secondly, there are some activities that happen that are time-bound or bound by some specific provisions of the Constitution that the Commission has to undertake. And so the fund was established to allow the Commission to discharge those responsibilities. It was established in 2010. The last Commission under Professor Atari Jega saved the money. There was no cost to spend from it. And for the last 5 years, this Commission actually did not spend from it. But what has happened now is our budget for 2020 dropped from 45.5 billion in 2019 to 40 billion. And as a result of the 10% COVID cut, it further dropped to 36 billion in the middle of the year when we had already made preparations for expenditure. And therefore, since that fund is meant for the rainy day, I informed the committee that the rainy day has come. So we are taking part of the fund so that we can balance our budgets for this year.
So tell me more about your plans for voter registration and whether those in diaspora will be involved.
Well, for continuous voter registration, the Commission intends to resume in the first quarter. The Commission intends to resume voter registration in the first quarter of next year. And once we resume, it will be continuous for 1.5 years, at least until 6 months to the next general election. So in other words, we're not going to resume the CVR for a week or two or for a month or two, but we're working out the details. On diaspora voting, you are preaching to the converted. The Commission is desirous of giving Nigerians living abroad the right to vote. After all our neighboring countries do so, but it requires amendments to the Constitution and the Electoral Act for that to happen. And we have already worked out the documents. Once the law is amended today, we can roll out. It has 2 dimensions. That is what is called the out-of-country voting, OCV, which is for Nigerians serving outside Nigeria, like members of the diplomatic corps, like the technical aid corps, or Nigerian service personnel, army and the police, serving in foreign missions abroad. Then you have the other dimension, which is I think what we are talking about, that is voting by Nigerians in the diaspora, meaning Nigerians permanently resident outside the country. We are ready. In fact, we had several meetings with the Diaspora Commission led by Ms. Abikeda Biri. So we are ready, but we can't go beyond outside what the law provides.
So there's still this committee of Nigerians that are usually always disenfranchised, not by their own will. One of them are journalists in this country. During election times, we are not always around to do our voting, but in our places of work, and also those in the military services.
It's not just those in the armed services. You are right. The police involved in election duty don't vote. Journalists don't vote. The ad hoc staff we engage for election don't vote. Some INEC staff also don't vote. Reason is that you are posted for election duty to places other than where you are registered. And the law says that you vote where you are registered. So it requires some amendment to the Electoral Act to enable people to vote. 2 solutions perhaps. Early voting is a possibility, but the law has to be amended so that those who are involved in election duty can vote early, or a major reform of particularly the electoral legal framework to allow for people to vote wherever they are, irrespective of where they are registered. The cleaning up of the voters register is going to be an integral component of the resumed continuous voter registration. Okay. But let me see this opportunity to appeal to all Nigerians. Citizens will have to help us to clean up the register. This is the register of Nigerians. It's the largest database of citizens in Africa, one of the largest in the world. We have 84 million entries. Now, we have been liaising with the National Population Commission, for instance, is the official registrar of birth and death in Nigeria. So we'll work with them to see if we can have the details to continue to clean up. But recall that before the 2019 general election, we displayed the register in each of the 8,809 wards across the country and appealed to Nigerians to help us identify deceased persons so that we can remove them from the register. The number we got was really very small. So if you know that there are 20 people in your locality, kindly make the details available to us. We will then confirm and null them from the register. So it's a responsibility for all of us as citizens. Don't see the voters register as INEC. It's our voters register as Nigerians, and we should continue to do what is necessary to clean it up.
The amount you paid on legal fees is not too much. The amount you pay for legal fees.
What is the amount we paid for legal fees?
I mean, I just heard that sometimes you do as much as pre-election, 800 and something cases.
No, but what do you do? Each time anyone goes to court, INEC is joined, and we have to hire lawyers to defend us. But remember, as I told the committee on this legal matter, we're not paying fantastic fees. We are applying the Federal Ministry of Justice scale of fees. If, for instance, you have a case for, say, a governorship election before the Supreme Court, it's a maximum of 4.5 million, not 4.5 billion or 4.5 billion. But because of the number of cases, almost getting to 1,700 pre-election and post-election cases from 2019 alone. And every day, you hear people going to court and joining INEC. Either it's for continuous voter registration, nomination of candidates, conduct of elections. Every day we are dragged to court. But we'll continue to do what we can within available resources.